Hi everyone. I am making a brand new video today. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the few people who do watch this channel, but I have not made a video in a while. Or if I have, it's just been short little clips of me at my dad's gravesite. I've been struggling. My back has really been hurting me, and I've been it's been a little depressed, so I decided to pick a subject that was interesting to me and that I thought would be interesting, to people out there, which is true crime. There isn't a lot of true crime that happens in St. Louis. I mean, when I say that, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of crime. It's like the most dangerous in the country, actually. They have a list every year of most dangerous cities in America, and St. Louis is always on top. And it's funny because I've lived in Detroit, which is my hometown, Cleveland, which is always like second or third on the list, and of course I live here, which is always first on the list. Like sometimes it's, Detroit is right up there, Baltimore, but it usually always seems to be St. Louis, and frankly, I am not surprised. Okay. But anyway, getting back to the subject at hand. I'm really interested in true crime, and like I said, there's a ton of crime here, but like notorious, like serial killer type crime, there's not a whole lot. There are 3 people that I can think of. One is, I believe his name is Maury Travis, and I've been wanting to do that. The second one and third one, well, I'll just start with the second one, which is why I'm here. This is, I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, Exist Fitness. This used to be Gold's Gym, okay? And why am I starting out here? Good question. I'm kind of going backwards, to be honest. Kind of going backwards in my storytelling. But back in 2009, a man called his wife at 7 in the morning. They live over in Columbia, Illinois, which is where I'm going to go now. And, he called his wife, and she didn't answer the phone, and he was concerned. He had 2 little kids, and, his wife is 31, 2 boys, I believe their names were Tristan and Tucker, and he just felt like something was up. So he left his house at about 5:30 to cross the bridge and come over here and work out, because he had a membership to Gold's Gym. And by the way, if you can't tell already, like, I'm already like flustered. I am not good at doing this at all. I don't know how to, there are so many things that I don't know how to do. Just basic, simple things that a 14-year-old can do with YouTube. For instance, like, I don't know how to exit out of here and like just a few minutes ago, I exited out of my, my camera or my video or whatever, and it just stopped the video, In other words, like, I can't refer to something and then go back and keep the video going. It's so stupid, So I'm going to do the best I can, and I might have to start over. But, like, another thing is, like, I really want to get to the point where I can do, people do videos and they reference something. Like they'll say, you know, this person so-and-so got up in the morning and went and worked out, leaving his kids and wife at home, and he got a bad feeling, so he called his neighbor. Like, it would be nice to, like, insert pictures, you know, so you guys could have some reference as to what I'm talking about. I will get there. I'll get to the point, and I'll get to, you know, but it's so hard to do that without being able to copy and paste pictures and put them in and, you know, do stuff like that. I mean, I can't even exit out of here, like I said. It's really, really frustrating, you know. But I'm going to do the best I can. So, this man, his name was Chris Coleman. He got up early to go work out, and he had been having problems. He worked for Joyce Meyer, who is a televangelist. And, you know, he was making good money. He was making, you know, $100,000 a year. This is in 2009. But, you know, and I mean, seemingly from the outside, everything was great, right? Everything was great. You know, a wife, 2 kids. Oh, God, asshole. I swear to God, the people here are just the worst. They're just the worst. And then get them behind a wheel, and it's like, ugh. Sorry, my honest side came out. I don't really have, like, I find as I get older that I don't really have the capability to bullshit anymore, you know? I really don't. And I'm not a big fan of living here, you know? It's kind of boring, not much to do. I find that people, there are nice people here, okay? And there are things to do. It has its charms. And if you don't know, like, I mean, I live in South County, St. Louis. I prefer, you know, down by Forest Park, if you know anything about St. Louis. You know, Forest Park, that area down there, downtown, certain parts of it, you know, Busch Stadium, going to the Enterprise Center to hockey games, you know. So I don't want to paint this picture that's just a horrible place. In fact, I think it's kind of a nice place. There is a lot of crime. It's just the people, they're, you know, there are good people and there are nice people, but I would not recommend moving here from somewhere else. I just wouldn't recommend it. Unless you, like, have roots here. Unless you know, a couple friends, you know, have some family, have a support system. Because if you don't, I mean, I wish you luck. Because it's kind of like, they call it like the biggest little city. Or I'm sorry, the littlest big city. Or whatever. Because, you know, everybody kind of knows everybody, you know. They immediately, when they meet you, ask what high school you went to, so they can kind of compartmentalize you. I know I said this in another one of my videos, but, so I don't want to spend a lot of time bashing it, but I just find it's, you know, I've lived here for a while and I still feel like an outsider, if that tells you anything. And I've made an effort, you know, it's not like I've sat at home waiting for people to come to me, but, you know, their attitude is kind of like, you know, thanks, but no thanks. I think it would be different if I moved here, like, with a husband and kids. I think that would be different, but I didn't, and the dating pool is shit too, so it is what it is, but it's very beautiful. There's some nice places to hike. I'm a big hiker. Right now, okay, on the left, you have Jefferson Barracks, which is like a cemetery, like for veterans, and it's very old, very historic, beautiful. On the right, you know, if you go down a ways, you get to Cliff Cave Park, which is also very beautiful, and I hike it, both of them, you know, often. Now, where I'm going now is, this is called the JB Bridge. I'm not sure what it stands for, but I'm going to continue with my story now. So, this guy gets up, you know, goes to work out, you know, gets an eerie feeling for some reason, because he can't get a hold of his wife, you know, even though it's really super early in the morning, and he calls his police officer friend. Isn't that pretty? His police officer neighbor who lives right across the street. And so I told you he works for Joyce Meyer, okay? I didn't know who she was before I heard about this story. But, you know, she's one of those televangelists. She always looks like she's sucking on a lemon to me. I don't know. She doesn't look like the most friendly person. But you know, I never really trusted the televangelists, especially after, you know, growing up in the 80s, and, you know, I don't know. They seem to take a lot of money, and they don't seem to practice what they preached. You know what I mean? They seem to put a lot of the money that people send them in their pockets, you know. So anyway, I'm coming up on Columbia now, and this is the route that Chris Coleman, you know, when he talked to his police officer friend and neighbor, he said, you know, I need you to come home now. And this is the route that Chris took to come home. Now, I need to say this. When he was working for Joyce Meyer, around, this was in May, that day that he went to the gym. But back in 2008, in November of 2008, he started getting death threats, okay? And basically the death threats were aimed at him for some reason, even though the person really seemed mad at Joyce Meyer. And, you know, people like that, you know, they get a lot of, you know, I don't want to call them crazy people, but they get a lot of, you know, maybe stalkers or whatever, who don't like what they're doing. So anyway, they get a lot of people like that, and I hope I'm going the right way. This is why I'm so distracted. Like, it's supposed to tell me on here where to go, you know? And a little while ago it said turn left, you know? But now it's not telling me anything. It's just an arrow, you know? Like, it's so frustrating, you know? Like, all I want to do is manage 2 things at once. That's it. And I want to manage 2 things at once, which is for this to give me directions, and for me to, you know, have my video. And then also it'd be nice if I could go into my notes without the video shutting off. I mean, this is not working out how I wanted it to. It's kind of ridiculous. So I don't know if I'm going the right way. I don't think I'm going the right way, because Columbia's back there. not even telling me where to go.